Well, a fine hello, lads and lasses. I'm a leprechaun, in case you didn't know. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. And if you're not a fan, because you're daft in the head, then you can always stay home and listen to the Jacob and James On The Go podcast. Listen to Jacob and James talk about all kinds of things, from movies to life, and apparently not leprechauns. And you can find their podcast on YouTube, Spotify, or any place where you might listen to a podcast. So this St. Patrick's Day, be sure to stay safe, don't drink and drive, and most importantly, have fun. And if you're not celebrating, listen to the Jacob James On The Go podcast and have fun with that too. And stay away from me Lucky Charms, or I'll shank ya. I ain't afraid of going back to prison.
Oh, hey, sweet. Some Lucky Charms. Ah, dang it. Ah, what the hell? Why'd you stab me? Jesus.
I ain't messing around. Do I look like Warwick Davis to you? I don't think so.
Everything is so cold.
They're magically delicious. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day.
Waking up, I feel so damn good. I got a boner. My On The Go show released a new episode today. Gonna listen to it with my boner. My boner.
Welcome back to the On The Go show, episode 127, James.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Yep.
We're going to talk some Doomsday castings. I sense a rant coming from James. Before we get into that, how have you been? What's been going on?
But things been going good, man.
Yeah?
Yep, doing great. Enjoying the weather and enjoying the springtime.
Immediately when we connected, you were hot and ready to discuss this. Apparently, Marvel's making a big show and pony show about this.
I originally didn't even know they were doing this today. I didn't know they were doing this at all. I thought they were going to wait till after Thunderbolts or after Fantastic Four, but apparently not. So they decided to do the whole casting thing, and I've been paying attention to a couple streamers and stuff, and apparently they've been doing it like every 12 minutes or every 15 minutes. And I'm just like, I don't know why they just can't just show the whole cast. It's like they're doing casting chair by casting chair. And they got this music playing in the background, and it's just like, it's not working. It's falling on deaf ears because you've announced the usual cast, which I suspected, I understood that, you want to get the usual suspects out the way. Your Chris Hemsworths, Vanessa Kirby from Fantastic Four, even though I'm kind of curious on why she was singled out from everybody else. So I'm curious on that one. Paul Rudd, Letitia Wright, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, it's just, it was the usual suspect. I'm curious on why some people were singled out more than the others.
How are they singled out?
Vanessa Kirby is Fantastic Four. So it's like, you would think that you would kind of see her with the Fantastic Four. You wouldn't think, everyone's being singled out in some form of way.
I see. So they're not introducing like Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, they're all singled out.
Okay.
And I'm curious on why is it like, why is it like that? And then, Sebastian Stan, they did do Sebastian Stan and Wyatt Russell together. They're in Thunderbolts, Wyatt Russell, U.S. agent. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Then they got, they did Anthony Mackie was actually the first person up. So, it's just, it's kind of odd how they did it. I don't know why they're doing it like this.
I'm sure the theorists out there are already composing reasons why they're singling out Vanessa Kirby and why why Sam Wilson. I can't say his real name. Why Anthony Mackie is first. Why certain names are popping up before others. I'm sure.
Well, I get why Anthony Mackie's first. He's a leader. He's
supposed
to be the leader. Yeah, he's supposed to. So I get that, but I would have thought they would have done this after Fantastic Four. And went on and gave us the cast in, but apparently they didn't want to do it that way. Because hopefully this doesn't kind of spoil it for anything.
Right. Well, I mean, I know like the last couple of weeks there's been talks or discussions on who's actually in this movie. I know Paul Rudd and some other actors have been interviewed and they've been questioned if they're going to show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and their answer was kind of just, oh, we haven't been contacted yet. But here we go. They just confirmed Paul Walker as Ant-Man. So, I mean, obviously they probably knew this going in. It's just Marvel's like, hey, don't say anything because we're about to do this dog and pony show over here.
I would have thought they would have just only rolled out because to ask a person to stay on the stream for 12 hours, you got 40 semi names coming out. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of names.
Most people are just going to dip out and show back up tomorrow when all the podcasters and influencers and whatever are covering it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You know, or later today on IGN or whatever, do a Deadline or Variety or one of those little tabloid things. So that way, why do it this way every 15 minutes? And you probably thought that, you know, Marvel thought like, oh, this is smart marketing right here because we got people eyes are going to stay tuned in.
Right.
But I don't think they took into account that people still have lives. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. I mean, it's the middle of the workday right now. At the time of this recording, it's the middle of the workday.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So hopefully, you know, they announce. So while we're doing the podcast, hopefully by the time we get off of it, they would have announced, 30 names or maybe 20, 25 names.
Something like that. Well, look, I can pull up the live stream. And I'll just lower the volume here. We got Simu Liu is the next chair, the most current chair. What I don't like about this is that all the other chairs are blurred out, so I can't really, like, I'd have to rewind this. Eben Moss Bossarock is confirmed. Eben Moss and Simu Liu are the two newest names to appear as we started recording.
And who's Simu?
He is Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. We kind of assume that. It's like, and see, that's another thing too. The names that we're seeing, it's not really like balls to the wall. Like, oh man, this is a hell of a surprise. Can't wait to see this.
Right.
We kind of already knew these names were going to be in here. Like, who else is going to be in here?
Yeah, a bunch of these actors have been part of all the newer stuff, like all the newer films that have been coming out. I mean, the real surprise would be just like off the wall, like Tom Cruise's chair showing up.
Exactly. That's a surprise. Or just seeing Denzel Washington name pop up or something.
Yeah. And I mean, he's supposed to be in
Black Panther.
Black Panther 3. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's cute. They gave Paul Rudd a little chair because he's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Silly.
Which, I mean, after Ant-Man Quantumania, I'm like, I don't know who's excited to really see him.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I guess to see what he's been up to. But, I mean, that's another thing. Ant-Man set the stage for King, and now we're pivoting to Doomsday. So it's like, yeah, how is Ant-Man going to fold into this?
Yeah, how's he going to explain this? Like, after he just going through what he did with Kang. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And another thing, is this really the Avengers? Because it's not really the Avengers.
Well, no, yeah, because there's not an acting Avengers team at the moment currently in the MCU timeline as per Captain America 4, right? Like, they make that very clear in that movie that there's no Avengers. They've been disavowed. You know, Sam Wilson is starting to work on a new Avengers team. You
got Fantastic Four in here. You got a couple people that have never been a part of the Avengers. So it's like, is this really the Avengers, or is it just calling the Avengers? Are you calling the Avengers Doomsday because it's just a tagline?
It's called Avengers because you're taking all these heroes and you're teaming them up into one big team, and that's the only superhero team outside of the X-Men. But that's the only superhero team in Marvel Comics that's like big enough to draw in people, right? It's the Avengers. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, you have a point. There is no Avengers currently, and all these names, are they just going to suddenly be part of the Avengers? You know, at what's happening here? Obviously, Doctor Doom is going to be a big pivotal plot point. It's called Doomsday, but yeah, it's very curious. Very, very curious.
Yeah, because it's weird because like it's not really Avengers. It's a cast of just Marvel heroes all rolled into one. That's pretty much what it is. Like Fantastic Four already have a group. You could easily just call the movie Fantastic Four Doomsday if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could have, but you know, you're I think people. I don't know. People would find that weird though. Like if you did Fantastic Four First Steps and then immediately a sequel months later, true. That would be very brave and like bold. Honestly, that would be very bold if it's like, yeah, actually, this is a Fantastic Four sequel. We did them both back to back. We did it that way to set up Secret Wars. So you got Fantastic. You're introduced to them. Doomsday comes or Doom comes, and then you got Secret Wars coming up or whatever.
And I'm assuming that Dr. Doom is not the only villain in this film. So I'm curious to see who's the ancillary pieces that he'll be, you know, the little henchman he'll be running around with.
I know the big theory is he's gonna have like Hydra Cap or Madam Hydra for Black Widow, or like the evil Hawkeye and like evil Spider-Man or whatever. And I really hope they don't go that way, because I really want Doctor Doom to be his own character. I know he's Robert Downey Jr., but I really want him to be his own character. I don't want this to be like, oh, this is alternate timeline Tony Stark that became Doctor Doom, because that's a big theory floating around right now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I've heard it. I don't really agree with it, but yeah, I've heard it.
Me neither. It's like Tony survives the Thanos fight, and then he uses time travel shenanigans to become Doom because he's Tony, and he doesn't know when to quit. So I don't like that theory. I really want Doctor Doom to be his own character, because obviously he's big enough to be his own character, and he's also really petty. Between him and Reed Richards, like the whole rivalry they got going on, and like the shenanigans that Doom does to prove that he's like the best.
The only difference is when you had Thanos, that was the big bad. He had people that was in his circle, so you had the Order, so that kind of helped. The ancillary pieces around the other cast.
You're right. I don't know who Doom would have, because Doom doesn't normally have henchmen.
He doesn't.
Sometimes he does.
Like partners. He usually like partners up with like other villains.
Yeah, but you can't. You don't have Red Skull, because you can't bring Red Skull back into this. You killed off MODOK, so you can't even have MODOK. MODOK would fit as his henchman, honestly, or like his partner, whatever you want to call him, because that's kind of MODOK's role, like similar to what he was in Quantumania. But they killed him off, unfortunately. They should have just had him get out, honestly.
Because, it would make sense for him, because you can't have him in every single scene in the movie. So you have to have him, you have to have other, that's why, as much as I hate to say it, you probably will see Chris Evans show up in this movie if we ever get through the cast.
You're right.
If we ever find out who else is in this cast. You probably will see a evil version of Captain America, so that way it can kind of help the other cast.
Right. Or if the concept art leads to anything, which the Russo brothers claim it's not real concept art, but they can just say that honestly. They could just be saying that. But if it lends to anything, possibly he has a Doctor Strange on his side, because in that concept art there's a Doctor Strange that's like next to his throne. So I don't know, man. This movie, this whole lead up to this next Avengers film has just been a giant mystery. It is curious to see where they're gonna go with this, and the casting. You're right. They should just announce all the cast, because this is unbearable.
Because if you announce the whole cast, you can eat off of this for a whole day. People can they can edit their videos. People have time to edit their videos. They have time to do the work and do all the stuff they have to do to get these videos going. Now they have to stop and wait and get through every cast member to actually get to the actual story. They're not taking into account that people have to do podcasts to talk about this stuff.
Right. They have content. They have a whole content calendar. This is a whole day. And I'm sure there are live streamers who are more than willing to do the 12 hours or however long it's going to take for them to announce who's all in this film. Well,
I was watching Christian Harloff, he's splitting time with one of the other co-workers, one of his partners. So he's splitting time. Yeah, he's gonna cover half an hour, and then he's covered half the hour right now. So then his other partner's gonna come in and cover the rest of the hour probably.
What's wild is how do you cover this, because nothing happens except for every 15 minutes, right? So you really are just talking.
Well, you got your live chat. Your live chat is essentially the other partner.
You're right.
They're asking questions right along with you.
Yeah, everyone's asking questions, but at a certain point, the conversation just kind of gets circular. So I assume you have talking points prepared to pivot and whatnot.
Oh yeah, you have that, but also too you have other people that you can call. You can just be creative with it, So it's a little bit different when you're doing it visually, because, like I say, those super chats really come in. Super chats, and then you have people that's in the normal chat room, so you can talk to them as well. I know the break room, they just came on, and so they're just covering this thing. And the break room is kind of I don't want to say they're Marvel adjacent, but they kind of are, because they really cover everything Marvel. They don't really cover DC as much, so it kind of bought and paid by Marvel a little bit, so they don't really
Yeah.
have an opinion that's really worth listening to. You know, in my opinion, they didn't used to be like this. Yeah, but they are now. The break room is a part of the new rock stars.
Oh, those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, all
Oh.
those guys. Don't get me wrong, I love their channel. They're great. Like they're not toxic or anything like that. But you know, they're skewed Marvel. So I'm pretty
Right.
sure they're not going to say anything negative about this live stream. But this is tedious. This is very tedious.
Oh yeah, it's very tedious. I mean, and it still hasn't moved to another chair. We've been recording for a little bit now, and this still just Simu Liu's name on here. Just waiting for the update.
40 semi names. I wish you could find out how many names have been announced so far, so that way we can at least know what's the rest of the count we got to go through. Like it's got to be at least about 20 names so far, or maybe 17. Like that would make the most sense. Because I don't remember them doing this for Infinity War. I think for Infinity War they just announced the names and just said, "Boom, here it is."
Yeah, well, I think they had a Comic-Con, around the time, so they were like, "Hey, here's everybody who's in Infinity War."
True.
And, I mean, at that point, it was all set up in such a way to where the pieces were already in place. Like you already kind of knew who was going to be in Infinity War. What surprised people was the actors who weren't going to be in it, and then it was like, no, they're going to show up in the next movie. We're splitting the cast half and half. All right, Hollywood Reporter has it listed out. Let me see. So far, we've got Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Paul Rudd, Letitia Wright, Wyatt Russell, Evan Moss, Bacharach, and Simu Liu. So we're at 9. We are 1/4 of the way through the casting.
You're kidding me. 9 people have been announced.
Yeah, only 9 people so far.
40 people was just what I heard. It could be more than that.
Or less. I feel like less would be more desirable because 40 people in one movie. I mean, Endgame had quite a bit of people, and how they broke it up was pretty good. But 40 people is a lot.
40 people, and all we got is 9 people so far.
Yeah, we only got 9 people. I'm surprised Letitia Wright's in this actually, because at the end of Black Panther 2, it kind of just seemed like she was out. I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
There was a little bit of controversy with her outside of the movies, but just like her character in the film didn't even want to be Black Panther, and then it really seemed like at the end of it, she was like, "All right, I did my thing to save the country. Now somebody else can take over." So I'm surprised to see her back.
Well, you would think that she would probably be in Secret Wars and Doomsday.
Maybe she won't be back as Black Panther, but just as Shuri. I mean, she's Shuri either way, but like what I mean. She won't have the Black Panther mantle, but she'll still be the tech girl.
And also, too, a lot of these people are going to play ancillary roles, so they probably going to be like mid-level roles, so they won't be in there all the way.
You're right.
But it's just so weird, man. All of this marketing has just been terrible.
Yeah. I kind of feel like your bigger stars are going to be obviously Captain America, Bucky, and then the Fantastic Four are probably going to play a huge role in this because obviously Doctor Doom, and I think this is the one after Fantastic Four, like right, because Fantastic Four comes out and then this is the next one in the series.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have a middle movie in between between Doomsday and
Spider-Man 4. Yeah. So I see Captain America, Bucky Barnes, the Fantastic Four being major players. Ant-Man, Shuri, John Walker, not so much. Thor could potentially be a major player in this one.
Yep.
I mean, he's gallivanting in space with Eternity, so...
Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. I don't see Tom Holland being a big character in this because Spider-Man 4 is the connector piece between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
So he'll probably be in this for a little bit, and then Spider-Man 4 happens, and then he's a bigger role in Secret Wars. Or he might not be in this at all. Because he might not be a part of this, and then Spider-Man 4 happens, and Spider-Man 4 might be not so much a connector piece, but like kind of like how Ant-Man 2 was, where it was happening at the same time as Infinity War. And then it leads into Secret Wars. Like they might do another that situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I heard it was supposed to be Spider-Man 4 in the middle of this Secret Wars and Doomsday, but also it might be another secret movie in between it as well.
Oh, there might be a second one.
Too.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be another one too. Because remember when Infinity War came out, when Infinity War came out, it was 2 movies too.
Yeah.
Remember? You had Ant-Man and Wasp, and then you had also Miss Marvel.
Was it Miss Marvel? I thought Miss Marvel came out before
Captain
Infinity
Marvel.
War. I thought Captain Marvel came out before. I don't know.
No, Captain Marvel
really
came
matter.
out. Well, Captain Marvel came out after Infinity War because remember your boy Samuel L. Jackson. He had pushed the button and signal for Captain Marvel, and so
Right.
so that was the big movie leading up, and then you also had Ant-Man and Wasp. Well, they were also a blip too as well. So you had two movies. So I think the other movie too, if I'm not mistaken, could be Thor. It might be Thor.
Another Thor movie?
It should be. Honestly, It needs to be Thor. It needs to be Thor. Because I'm telling you, man, we really gotta get that taste out of our mouth. You really gotta get that taste out of our mouth. Like, it could be either Thor, maybe Thor or Doctor Strange.
I can see a Doctor Strange.
It could be a Doctor Strange movie because I forgot I did hear about that. I did hear about a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, because Charlize Theron and Doctor Strange are running around the multiverse with incursions. So yeah, that would actually make sense. That actually makes a lot of sense if they go that way.
Yeah. You know what? I forgot about that. Yeah, so it could be because there was two movies with the Infinity War after that, and so two movies. They just haven't announced the other movie. We know the other movie is Spider-Man, but we don't know the other secret movie.
Oh, breaking news. We got a new casting. Florence Pugh.
Oh, man. So like I say, man, this is going to be going on all day. So, it's just ridiculous.
But by the time this episode comes out, all the cast will be revealed, and we'll probably have a more comprehensive idea on what's to come.
Yeah.
On the go. We're getting arrested with Jacob and James. All right. Well, hey, I mean that's all I had today. Just so you know, before we get out of here, there's been another casting with Kelsey Grammer, James.
Oh, he's playing Beast.
Yeah, he's playing old school Beast. So
yeah,
I guess.
He's playing Beast.
Oh, and Lewis Pullman as well.
Who is that?
No idea. Hold on. Lewis Pullman is an American actor. He's the son of Bill Pullman. He was in Top Gun Maverick. He was in The Strangers Prey at Night. What characters were you, sir?
Interesting.
The latest movie he was in that you made, he was in the Salem's Lot movie on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah. So who were you in Salem's Lot?
I think he might have been a star.
Ben Mayers. So the lead character. Yeah, he was the lead. So that's that guy. I don't know who he's playing, but he's in Doomsday. So there you go. We got a new thing. We got a new casting, I guess.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer's.
I that one.
Yeah, but it's also kind of a low-key surprise because we haven't seen him since Marvels. And that was an after-credit scene. They could have easily just dumped that.
And nobody watched the Marvels.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of upsetting because that's a fun movie.
Ooh, fun. As fun as a little bit of.
I remember you liked that movie.
I also remember I had a lot of problems with the movie too.
You can have problems with it, but you can also like it. So I remember you liked it.
I have to go back in the archive for that one.
Yeah.
I'm about to go back in the archive for that one.
I'll go replay that. I'll go find the episode. I think we covered it, so I'll go find it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back in the archive for that one. I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah, I'll insert it here. If you said good things about it. If you didn't, I'll let it go. But
I probably said a few things, but I don't think I overall said it was just a horrible movie. It wasn't a horrible film, but I definitely had some problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I'm not saying you praised it.
Because everyone else was the ones that was just trashing it to death.
Yeah, well, it's kind of common these days. So, Well, anyway, without further ado, I think we're kind of at the end of this episode, sir. So, hey, if anybody wants to email us and join the conversation, you can email us at ontheGoPod2023@gmail.com. You can also contact us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you want to comment on our videos, that'd be great. You can find us individually on Instagram. I'm jacobdantone.audio and James is
9794.
All right. And then, of course, our Instagram is On The Go with Jacob and James. So please go follow that. Share it with your friends. Do all the things you need to do to keep us around. And that's it. So with blah, blah, blah. I can't end the show. Anyway, I'm on the go. James is on the go. We are all on the go.